here. The other night, I had this wonderful dream, right? It seemed wonderful, but it looked like somebody was being fake. You ever seen people futuristically fake lie to people and tell them that they were with somebody and they wasn't with a person? They were actually with somebody else doing something that they wasn't supposed to do at the time, but they just lied to people and said they were with an individual. Let me show you. Let me tell you about the reason why. I don't have nothing against certain girls of young age of the stupidity, but I'm gonna just tell you something in a certain type of way. This is it. Remember Justine Celia I told you about, right? Girl, I love her. I love. I love with that. Let me tell you something about her. They used to be, I used to call when she used to come see me. Remember, I told you she was working for the Cochrane Group. But as she was working for that group, I used to call her a cab when she used to come see me because I didn't have a car at the time when we first met. So I used to call a certain cab station to come pick up, and then I started switching over to cab station, and I started calling a cab station named Alpha that was on Flatbush, located between 34th Street and by Flatbush, right? So one day, this guy came to pick her up, and he was like, we had, you know, he happened to be picking up all the time, but one day I actually was taking a ride with her because we were going to our house or something, and then it was like the pot of gold that he found when he seen her that day, right? But he was working over there by Flatbush and 34th and stuff by this cab station named Alpha. So she was the type of girl. She was very I'm not gonna say promiscuous, but like a promiscuous, sassy type girl, a certain type of way, right? So one day, you know, her constant struggle because she had to be honest when it came to a man like me. But the guy, every time I called the cab, he would come pick her up. I never think nothing about it. I was happy because at least it was one guy really just taking or whatever, and I'll just, she'd go home and I'll just go home inside and go to sleep. I never thought about nothing. But, thinking about this, like, I told you, I'm the one that paid the MTA for them to get new buses. Now, that for me to make a payment to the MTA, I must own the MTA, right? But you had dollar van individuals already wanted to take out the MTA contract after what they did to the World Trade Center. They wanted to take out the MTA contract, and then and think about it. The MTA was supposed to go over to like other third world countries to have other contracts so individuals could have like acknowledged for the contract to spread out for the corporation because the marketing base at the time. So individuals at a time, the MTA was supposed to go to like other third world countries and extend the contract. The contract was supposed to. I'm telling you, it's not like it was somebody was supposed to make it happen. It was already supposed to happen. It was supposed to be extended to other countries and stuff. But other people wasn't probably able to use the contract or drive the MTA because of other individuals. And the bus schedule at a time circulates for individual rotation. And if it's like sanitation, you ever had people that work corporation and they get paid vacation, but then you have people that get shipped over to other places. Like say a person been working a certain line, a certain type of way for a mad long, and they want a little different and a little vacation and something to adjust to their vacation while they're married, so the comfortability of their marriage. The contract was gonna suppose I own the company, so I'm telling you what was supposed to happen. The contract was supposed to adjust to the third world countries, so this way, if individuals on vacation, they would still be able to work and still be incoming revenue for the MTA. But individuals, I don't know, the dollar van individuals must have felt a way about that, a certain type of way, and then individuals how can I say this, of high society would have to, adjust to certain forms of reality and equality because at least they would have, they would be used to the acknowledgement of traveling a certain type of way if something happened a certain way. If they were ever somewhere, they would, like a star beam gives you point of direction. They would have a point of direction for the reality of wherever they're traveling to, so they wouldn't feel uncomfortable or panic in case of an emergency or of a social economics or something happens, right? So anyway, the individuals started doing other things, but this guy one day, anyway, the dollar van individuals was targeting, just like individuals was targeting my son Van Latin for the land, the social economic land at the time, because the development was going to be a certain type of way, but my son being around, it wasn't able to develop because he's not. Bin Laden wasn't making a move unless so he knew something was going on with me, and from far as he knew, I got shot in the movie Boogie Night, and he don't know what happened after that. He never knew where I was around certain things, and then on top of it, it was so real because of other things that was going on at the time that I had to recover a certain type of way, because remember, I'm the real Fidel Castro, not own Cuba also, and I don't got to tell you about I own all continents, also meaning third world countries. I'm the real rock. I'm the reason that this earth has an atmosphere. But think about this, right? So, after what Haiti did, Haiti did their own stupidity, and they don't know nothing about the land a certain type of way. So I let that settle a certain type of way because of the difference of certain things in the reality. So I didn't even worry about that. So, like places like Jamaica, places like Mexico, Venezuela, places like Argentina, places like Colombia, places like Dominican Republic, places like Jamaica, Trinidad. Uh, the certain islands were supposed to have not the Virgin Islands. The Virgin Islands have their own private transportation to their bus habitation a certain type of way, but it was supposed to venture out to certain islands a certain type of way for the physical reality, right? Anyway, man, so just seeing, one day I call a cab and she was working for the Cochrane Group. So the individual working for the Alpha cab station came to pick up, and I don't know if he got with her and he knew, other dollar van niggas on Flatbush and niggas driving cab, other niggas, they probably talking about dollar van, other niggas trying to get money. And then other people wanted to take my MTA contract out. And I was like, yo, the MTA contract ain't going nowhere because I really own the corporation. That's something that you're not even going to be able to get rid of a certain type of way. So it's just like, it didn't make no sense, so I just don't get into it no more. It's like, to provide that evidence, I literally paid the MTA a certain type of way, and then they got new buses the next day. And it's only scheduled for me to do it because every time I paid the MTA, I paid for the B82, I paid for the B41, I paid for other buses, and they got the new. As soon as I paid them, the new buses got the new buses instant. Now the only reason that happened is because another person didn't tell me. You know how a person growing up and learning digital systems, they didn't tell me that certain places were waiting for payment from me a certain type of way. This is why I'm supposed to travel around the world and being okay. But individuals, because of their ignorance, they didn't tell me certain things, so certain people didn't get paid. And then after a while, you get to see people mentality. If look at what happened. So the people mentality from themselves, so good for them. So now it's like, too bad for everybody else. I'm gonna just go about my business, So now, a person looked at life, and I said, I'm the reason why people have creditors. So, because if I don't pay, you ain't get paid. And another person, you go press people that I know, you don't have to worry about that because my family, you don't even know how real I am when I come to my family. If I don't pay, you ain't getting paid. It ain't nothing happening to you. That's it. And it takes me to literally pay. So anyway. So certain things happen, the MT, they did little funny things or certain things. So, these little dollar man niggas. And I'm thinking about, like, imagine if Jussie was working, the Cochrane Group, they had real estate in certain social economic zoning, residences, right? So these individuals must have been targeting some of my economic systems, and it ended up fucking high individuals of high society that you wouldn't believe the physics that is already accumulated throughout the time and what it was about, and then the endangerment of fucking up people's natural habitation to their social structure to things that was already accomplished. And I own all the majority of the places I own, or I own the whole planet, but the majority of places I own is consecrated ground, and people don't need to know where their consecration is a certain type of way. And recovering the consecration, another person didn't want to endanger their life or certain things. So it's just like my MTA contract. You see how a person with MTA, they're supposed to be shifting and going around the world. So if they have a wife and child, they're supposed to be going on a vacation, and then the individual can still be getting his paycheck. And on top of it is even a leisure, a certain type of vacation because of the type of work that he does naturally. Actually, no, because I'm a man. I could have been a psychologist. I told you I'm a doctor, but I could have been a psychologist. All type of things. You know what I'm saying? Because I educated all international security. So now, a person didn't realize what was going on, so they went and, I guess they must have been targeting my real estate properties, they must have been targeting my businesses, they must have been targeting certain corporations I had, causing the destructiveness of their own. You ever had like a playground, of the future playground that a person would get to in life, and as soon as they get there, they be like, yo, listen, I want to go back there instantly. And then they want to get back there so bad because it's already the way it is that individuals have fun. Now imagine what individuals fucked up already and things that they'll never make it to a certain type of way because of what they did. So it's just like, I look at individuals at life and then says, you imagine if that guy wanted to sex just these silly. So imagine if he tried to impress her one day and then he going out there stalking my real estate using a cab company that I was already cool with, but knew because of the type of acknowledgement that they had, the wrong things happened because other individuals was already conducting themselves out of place when it came to their habitation and when it came to acknowledgement. And I've done warn certain colleges about certain things already. In the back in the days when I used to handle and operate the social economic system for one's acknowledgement before it led up to the Civil War. So I used to tell individuals, you can't do this. They used to be like, yo, why this guy keeps coming? And I used to be like, yo, listen, man, you don't want to. And then when things would happen, another person, some people liked the way it was happening. I already knew the danger of that what was going to lead into, so I had to make sure the acknowledgement was known a certain type of way for individuals. And then when they tried to do the Dr. York to me because I didn't want to be with certain other people, and they realized I was being picky, when I got to Atlanta, and then from there there was nothing else to be said no more because other people was getting too concerned about certain things that was going on a certain type of way, and then I had to provide even to other people that was trying to manipulate the government, and that was already going far because of social economic equality, and my children from far that was doing things that they didn't know what was a certain type of way. Because you ever have children and you say, yo, listen, if they know I have this, they're going to want to come bother me and be like, I don't want to go there, I want to so I didn't want to tell them. So then when they realized some of them, some of them was like nerds and some of them were kind of spiteful. It's like my wife's like, because my wife's like, oh, how come he has this girl, he's doing this for this astronaut company, he's doing this thing for this astronaut, he's doing this for astronaut for Empress, he's doing this for astronaut, how come he ain't over here doing it? And then I already had a situation set up a certain type of way, but when I'm recovering, it's because of the mentality that she already has, so she didn't have what I had a certain type of place. So you understand? So a point of reflection, even at a higher quality of one's intellect, So a person says, yo, listen, man, I was already educating the habitation of one's physical reality. The things that was already going on with me that people didn't know consciously, the way I was handling life and the way I'm handling my habitation and an acknowledgement that people's making me feel, and the things that I'm doing is so vitally serious in life that other individuals didn't realize. So I had to deal with situations a certain type of way. And on top of it, I didn't want to inconvenience other people's the habitation of their education, and then the things that they were handling for the enjoyment of their habitation, of their physical reality, and then the distances of the travel of people's comfortability, so I can make sure the quality will always be at a high acknowledged point. And it was serious even dealing with individuals a certain way. So I just let certain things be a certain type of way, because I'm like, I don't want to get too concerned about certain things a certain type of way, because another person wants a person to do something different, because it's just like being on drugs. You don't want to start getting manipulated when you have a real set foundation a certain type of way, and then another person's trying to. It's just like you don't want to get caught slipping when you have a habitation when things are precise, and then you get caught slipping a certain type of way because another person. It's just like you don't want to get you don't want a promoter promoting the wrong type of acknowledgement and then doing the wrong type of thing when it comes to the physical reality, and then other things happen, and then one already has a comfortability of the physical reality. So the girl, she probably started working with the guys, the dollar van guys, and then everything seeming like little history she say, and then people were partying all the time. Everybody throwing house parties, backyard parties, big club parties, and then working for certain people, and then next thing you know, the, then things start happening because another person's too comfortable a certain type of way, and then a person has to consider their own habitation with the things that's going on, because it's just like the indulgement of the reason of one's equality, of one's endurance or journey even at a time. So an individual has to consider the seriousness to everything a certain type of way, and then have to be precise with the things that go on, and then the little intricate things, the way they have to handle, or the way they have to tell a person that they can't be a part of something, they have to go back home and be let go a certain type of way. So it's like when he did that, I'm thinking the girl probably got with the dollar van drivers and then started targeting the MTA, but it was bound to happen anyway, because what she didn't realize is just that she already had the reason for something was already going to happen, and she probably didn't realize it at the time, and then her stupidity caused the situation to even be worse, because other individuals probably was more antagonizing, because she was a wonderful intellectual chick also, but she doesn't seem like intellectual. She's like she's not like the type of intellectual chick that shows off. She's like a person that's naturally intellectual, and like I couldn't say really viable, because she's like a person that literally will put you in your place instantly if you got out of character a certain type of way. But she was a person that very viewing for viewing viewing of one's reality before, how can I say this, literal literal how can I say this like so, so receptive certain type of way. And then it was funny. It was funny looking at her, and then noticing the things, because when I got, oh, this is another thing. This is why I wanted to tell you, because when I started driving, I got hit one time picking her up. I got into a bad car accident on Farmers Boulevard, and the person hit me in the rear end. But going to pick her up, you ever think it was the dollar van drivers and that other individuals like MTA, because probably I was moving a certain type of way, so they were jealous of me driving. So if they were trying to cause the to try to take my economic system, it was inconveniencing them because I drove at the time, and then they couldn't get certain type of finance from me, and then on top of it, I was already it was like paying a certain other finance because I'm the real JR from Dallas. So another person probably looked at it another type of way and they were mad and then they hit me and then on top of it, it could have been the guy that just wanted to see, wanted to continue picking up to get close to because if I kept on picking up, nobody could associate with the feminine beings I was coming close to because it was too much of an inconvenience because they didn't have no reason for the approach a certain type of way. And once they approach it, you would know exactly what it is. So another person, there was no reason. It was no, man. It's just like my wife, right? And then another man watching her resume, like, what makes her happy, and then she calls him like a DJ. He'll say, yo, send me this, send me this, send me this, send me this, and then he's looking at her like, yeah, you want to get sent right? He looked at her. He said, yo, look. He said, if that's your man all day. He's he has future plans for. He says, oh, you look like he keeps telling her you look like a social. And then on top of it, he's everywhere else all at the same time, right? But she's trying to imagine my wife trying to juggle emotions of her pimple reality at a time. That's becoming unbearable because another guy says, come on, babe, let me in. He says, no, you can't come to the house. I'll just see you another time. He's like, come on, babe. This is the other guy every day. Come on, babe, let me in. Then you look at the nigga like, why do you always want to come in the door? You don't open the door for me. You want me to open the door for you. He's like, no, because you used to be a man. You can't be acting like the guy's like, you can't be acting like that. What? One, I'm never opening the door for my wife. And my wife ain't opening the door for me. If we don't got keys, we just ain't going. Yo, the kid is like looking at you. Oh, you got big time? Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I gotta go get something. I don't even. Matter of fact, I'll see you tomorrow, man. I don't even go this. I don't have to sleep. You see, what's wrong with you? Listen, why are we having to be here at the same time? You probably went out the back door, kid. Nah, I'm out. No, I'm out. She used to be like, after a while, she used to be like, what? But I used to do that with her a long time ago before when we first were together. And then I started doing certain things a certain type of way, and then she started realizing. The thing about how educated, she started realizing why I was doing it. So, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just a funny thing. And then my wife, I look at her like, yo, listen, man, one day you'll just be, you'll be like the utensils. If I need it, right? you know, or if you already have guests that are already prepared for your utensils. Every day a little buttery sample for himself. It had been over for my other wife. She wonders what happened. Or they got me so good. Call me. Hey man, yo listen man, yo listen. Nigga, you ever seen the squirrel commercial when they nigga said, told you man, yo. Squirrel said, yo, man, I can't rock no more man. And he said, yo man, it's like that man, backseat of my Jeep, 8th episode man. The squirrel be looking at his tail flapping and tail like, told you man. No more chicken for him, huh? That nigga can't even do Sushi City no more. That shit is funny, man. And then you think about it, man. Like, my wife wants to get to an individual, and then she sees that she can't get to an individual because other individuals admiring the reason of her habitation at a time. Oh, you remember this? 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 You remember the song? You know what song I'm speaking about? And then, a person says, yo, man, how did that happen? Why did you start thinking and going like that? Like, what got you going like that? I don't know. That they want purple. They thought they could make purple better, Pepe. I guess. If purple was a star, what made purple purple? Why you do that for? The nigga said, why you do that for? Ahead of time, right? One time. One time. Oh. When I make sense, nigga said, this ain't the one. What? Oh. I looked at the nigga said, this ain't the water. I learned that, shorty. I put an ice cube in my mouth that had a hole, and I put a puddle of water, like poured some water in my hand. I said, ooh, I said, sip on this. She said, ooh. She said, oh, it's nice. She said, it's nice. Oh my God, She said, you blowing? She said, oh my God. I'll tell you what. And next time, man, too bad.